All right, what up, Wholesale 2 Million family? I'm jumping in to share with you guys this deal here, a deal story of how I made this deal, 33G. I'm going to share with you, all right, where I got the list, how I got in contact with the seller, how we locked the deal under contract, how long it took me to get the deal done, and where we find the buyers, all right? And if this is an assignment or is it a double closing, I'm going to share that all with you. Intro. So this deal came from a high equity list. It's not an absentee owner. It's not an out of state. The owner actually lives in the property. So I target anything that has at least 50% or more in equity, all right? The more they have in equity, the more room there is to negotiate in the price. So I'm going to leave the link right below to share with you guys what company we use to pull our list. Pre-foreclosure, absentee owner, high equity, free and clear, right? Tax delinquents, tax lien, all of that, link is right below. Use my affiliate link. You get a 7 days free trial. It's trialpropstreams.com/WTM. Link is right below. Check them out. We've been using them for a couple years now. Their list is pretty accurate. There is no company out there that you can get 100% accuracy, all right? But this one here, we're pretty happy with them. I think the cost is pretty low compared to ListSource and other company. Like I said, we've been using them for a couple years now. It's a 7 days free trial, so check them out. Use them. If you don't like them, you can just disconnect. There's no string attached. Part number 2 is that once we got the list, we went ahead and got my VAs to cold call. I'll leave the link below of the cold call company that we use. It's calltools.com/WTM. So if you use my affiliate link, they give you a $20 discount. Their monthly, I think they charge about $120 a month or so. But if you use the affiliate link, it's $99 a month. Okay, so if you do a lot of cold calling, I highly recommend that you should check them out to see if you like them, because it's gonna save you a lot of time. I know when I first started, man, it took me like 6 months or so to discover them. It took me a long time. But I used to dial one number at a time, and that takes forever, right? It takes forever. And I know some of you use Mojo and all that. We put Call Tools against Mojo. I'd rather go, Call Tools way more than I would go with Mojo. And they dial 10 numbers at the same time. So once the call comes in, boom, it goes out to 10 line. Whoever picks up the phone, you get to talk to that person. Once that person is done, they hang up. The phone just keep on ringing. It sends the other 9 to the voicemail, and it just keeps on going. It makes it more efficient when it comes to time to cold call. Pretty much there's 3 steps in our business. So one is they qualify and filter the lead. So I think her husband passed away probably a year or 2 ago, and she's been living in the property. She doesn't owe much on the property. She's thinking about selling the property, moving to like a senior home, or I think she wants to buy a trailer home. I think she already found one that she really likes, and she just want to pay it off, be free and clear, and not have to worry about a mortgage anymore. So it's going to be in like one of those, I think, a mobile home park. I think that's where she wants to go after she sell the property. So we qualify the leads. The property ARV is probably, I would say, it's probably about $300,000. And the seller at the time, she said that she wants, I think she said she wants 170 or 175. I don't remember the number exactly. 170 or 175. So there's a motivation in why she wants to sell it, and then there's a motivation in price. Now listen, a lot of you don't, you will talk to a seller where they felt like they have motivation, like, I just inherit the property, blah, blah, blah. And then when it came to price, there's no motivation in price, right? They pretty much want retail value. So there's 2 motivation I look for, one in price and the reason why they're selling the property. So anyway, so I tell my VAs to book the same day appointment. So this, I think it was 2 hours. So once we got the call from the seller, All right, my VA set the appointment for me to call her back in 2 hours. I was very familiar with the area, so once I saw it, I knew this was a hot lead. So anyways, I call back in 2 hours, and I locked the deal up under contract all over the phone. And I think, oh my gosh, I don't remember how much I got on contract for, but I think she wants to walk away with, 45 or so, some thousand in her pocket. And I was able to give her that. I didn't negotiate with her at all. I felt like we already have a good deal already, so I didn't want to negotiate. So I just get on the phone with her, and I pretty much asked her, so what do you want for the property? And she did mention that, you know what, she wasn't ready. She wanted to kind of think about about it a little bit. She wants to talk to some other investor. We were the first one that she came in contact with. And I'm telling you, man, overcoming objections, negotiating with the seller is the key to being successful in this business. And if you have trouble, right, negotiating with the seller, that's what I do the best. All right, so if you haven't checked out my King Kong seller script, definitely check it out. I'm going to take your game to a whole nother level, man. All right, and that's why my wholesale deal spread is so big, is because I'm able to get the seller to really, really come off on price. All right, even my VAs, they just follow the script and they're able to get the seller knocked down on price. So when it comes to me, on this deal here, I didn't really have to do much at all. But overcoming the objections, I want to think about it. So I pretty much asked her is, so what is it that you want to think about? I understand you want to think about this, but what is it? And see if we can get this figured out together. Is it the price that you're worried about? You know, is it the process that you're concerning? Because she was all worried about moving out and the whole COVID and getting rent back and all of that and moving into her other property. And I said, or is it me? Is it something that our company didn't do right or whatever it is that makes her feel uncomfortable? And she said, no, it was the process that she was concerning. So I kind of took her and went through the process with her to make it extremely simple and let her know that we're here to help her out and whatever it is that she needs, because she's worried about moving and not having people to help her out. And I said, we got you covered. So when we got the property locked up in the contract, I locked it up for her. I think I asked her, so how soon do you want to close on this? And she said, well, I'm not in a rush. So I locked it up for, I think, 60 days, right? So that gave me 60 days to find a buyer. And on this deal here, we end up listing the property on the market. I don't know if those of you who've been following me on Instagram, but this is something new that we have just been doing. And I mean, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So we're able to now take the property and list it on the MLS without ever buying the property. So we're still wholesaling it, not wholesaling. I'm not buying the property. The goal is for me to not buy anything and how I can just wholesale it. So I was able to list this property on the MLS, right? Just listing it on the MLS, having the rights to the seller, right? The seller gave us the right to actually do that. And I did tell the seller, so if you want to get my contract, there's a paragraph that you need to have in the contract, all right, to make sure that you can actually do that. So I'll leave the link or the paragraph below. And if you want to also check out my free contract, you can also get my free contract right below. The key to be able to list the property is you need to be able to connect with the realtors that's willing to do that for you. That is the key to actually do that. And on this deal here, we would have got, I would say, 15 or 20% less than what we would have got if we would just send it out to our list of buyers. Because when you put it on the MLS, man, you're targeting, if you can't sell the deal on the MLS, you probably cannot sell the deal. It's probably not even a deal, okay? Because it's targeting everybody. You know, there's mama and papa that's looking to buy the property, fix it up, and then go in there and live it. They're okay with spending the next 6 months, the next year, right, doing all this work, doing all this repair themselves, saving on their labor costs. They don't care about the time frame, right? They just want to be able to come in after they're done, have a little equity, right? Sweat equity into the property. Those are the one that's going to pay you the highest. And you know, when you put it on the MLS, that's where you can find those kind of buyers. Okay? So anyways, let's move on to next. Once we got locked up on a contract, I connected with the agents, got the agents to fill out their contract on the MLS, list the property. I think we end up finding a buyer in, I think after two and a half 3 weeks because price it pretty high. And I think after like a week or so, I didn't get any kind of offer come in. So we decided to drop the price. I figure, you know what? If we're going to put it on the MLS, might as well start high. We can always drop the price, but it's hard to go up on price, right? So then we start dropping price. We got to the sweet spot. Boom, got the buyer to come in and was able to get it done. And I think we ended up closing in about 12 days after we got the buy in. The transaction is pretty smooth. So as far as the realtor, I have to end up paying the realtor commissions, both my realtors and the buyer's agent's realtors. So when you do this kind of deal, you got to make sure that there's a big enough spread in there for you to cover all the closing costs and cover the realtor commission as well. So we told the seller that we pay for all the seller closing costs. So now it's going to fall on us. I end up didn't do a double closing on this. I end up doing an assignment, just a straight assignment. I would have got, I would say another 3 or 5% less if I would have done a, a double closing, because I got to pay for the seller closing cost. Then I got to go turn around, sell the property to the end buyer. Then I end up with a whole new set of closing costs. So I would have to pay double closing costs. All right, but one realtor commission, the listing agent and the buyer's agents. So anyways, we end up just doing a straightforward assignment. And I got that thing closed. We paid for the seller closing costs. Everything came out of my assignment fee. I didn't have to come to the table with any money. The title company was able to use the end buyer's fund to fund the whole transaction. So that's the number one thing too. If you're doing a double closing, you should look in and talk to your title company or your attorney and ask them if they can use the end buyer's fund to fund the whole transaction. Because if they can't, if you end up doing a double closing, which means you got to bring in your fund of the deal, right? Let's just say you and the seller, you guys agreed to $50K. You got to bring in the $50K, or you got to use transactional funding where they're going to charge you a percentage, all right, for them to fund that $50,000 for you to close with the seller, and then the buyer going to come in and close with you. Make sure to check up on that. But I end up doing assignment on this one, and it's just straightforward an assignment, and we got this thing closed, I would say, with it from start to finish. I think within less than 30 days, so it's because we did a price drop. It took us a while to find that buyers, and then we end up closing about 12 days after we found the buyers. So anyways, you guys, so that's the whole deal. So on this here, I never seen the seller, never seen the property. Like for those of you who've been following me for a long time, you understand that I do this all 100% virtual. Never meet the seller, never seen the property, never seen the buyer, none of that. Able to do this and lock the deal up on the contract all over the phone. And that's the beauty of virtual wholesaling. You can be anywhere in the world, man. And then you just find a market you want to dominate. You can be in the beach and do this thing, baby. Anyways, that's pretty much the whole story to the deal. If you have any questions, just comment below. I probably missed out on a lot of stuff, but anyways, if you have any questions, just comment below. And listen, don't let anyone, especially the one that's not doing the business, I call them the loser talk. All right, don't let them tell you, oh, the whole COVID, nothing is happening, deals are not happening, blah, 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 blah. Dude, deals, wholesale deals are being made every single day, whether you believe it or not. And it's happening, and I just proved it to you. So until next time, take care. If this video add any value to you, please show me some love. Boom, smash the thumbs up, give it a share. And until next time, you guys take care and ciao.